right, folks, we're going down the Epstein rabbit hole today. Let me tell you, I got Shaun Attwood coming on today, and he's going to lay it all out. Now, this guy's been covering this extensively, everything Epstein. So it's been very excited to have him on the show. Folks, hit the notification button. Hit the notification button, baby. And, folks, Venmo, 𝗬-ROD1977, 𝗬-ROD1977. Please like, share, subscribe, the whole thing. And I'm building up my studio little by little. I'm trying to leave the ghetto production. So that's what we're doing here at 𝗬𝗏𝐶𝗀𝗏𝗃. And I got to say, folks, please know that these guests that I bring on is going to be a very, we're doing this fluff tube style. There'll be more at 𝗬𝗏𝐶𝗀𝗏𝗃, a lot more at 𝗬𝗏𝐶𝗀𝗏𝗃. 𝗬𝗏𝐶𝗀𝗏𝗃 will be fire. Now, X is 𝗬𝗏Boxer, Patriot.com right there. Also, When the Lights Go Out on Amazon. When the Lights Go Out on Amazon, the book I wrote on my iPhone. Getting a lot of reviews. I got over 650 reviews now. I don't know where it's at. I do read all the reviews, and 5-star book. It's a 5-star book all the way down. Bestseller on Amazon. Also, my mama's book, The Mexican Mix. Please leave an honest review on that as well. And, okay, so if you see me, I'm used to looking down at my computer here. Now I'm having to look straight into the camera. A little bit different. I got to get used to it. Also, folks, trim with Nino, baby. Yeah, you got to lose some weight. We all do. Got to live longer. They say if you live the next 20 years, your chances of living to 150 skyrocket. So we've all seen the headlines about those miracle weight loss shots, but the 2026 data is in, and it's a wake-up call. Major analysis revealed that once people stop taking the injections, they regain an average of 60% of their weight within a year back. Even worse, most of that gain is pure fat. But the muscle they lost, well, that stays gone, leaving them with a crash metabolism and a body that's functionally older than when they started. That's why I'm obsessed with today's sponsor, GLP-1 Elevate. Instead of using needles to override my system, it uses clinically studied plant-based ingredients like 𝗵𝗏𝗡 to help my body naturally boost its own hunger control signals. I get that same fullness and fewer cravings, but without the scary side effects. And yes, they're very scary. Or the metabolic rebound. It supports my goals while protecting my muscles so I can actually keep the results for good. To celebrate Valentine's Day, well, that's past. And nothing like telling your partner that they're fat. You need to get on some GLP-1, but you can do it nicely. GLP-1 Elevate at Trim with Nino. Every order includes a complete support bundle for free VIP coaching for life, a 60-day money-back guarantee, and free express shipping and subscription. So go to Trim with Nino. The link is down there below, folks. Get started on it today. I think I'm getting better at my commercials. I do. I think, I think I'm doing all right. Hey, yo. All right. Also, 𝗬𝗏scorner.tv. Absolute fire, if I do say so myself. General's tent will be Stuart Swerdlow this month on February 28th, 5 p.m. I think that's either Friday or Saturday. Put it in the chat what it is, but it's the 28th. I guess that's the last day of February. So way to end the month with Stuart Swerdlow as the general in the General's tent. Plus, ringside with Nino, baby. The 25th, Wednesday the 25th, 5 p.m. Also, guests on my show, 𝗬𝗏𝗶𝗹, Mark Cook coming on to talk about the elections. 𝗬𝗏 and Sheila Holm will be on today. It's going to be a fire podcast. A lot of breaking information that Juan wants to state on there. Daniel Brinkley's coming back on. Kerry Cassidy's coming back on. SGN on. And I think I'm going to have Shaun Attwood pretty soon on 𝗬𝗏scorner.tv, so it's going to be fire. So you might want to turn it down or turn it up, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you like to turn it up. I know you do. And some of you, I know, like to turn it down. Coming at you live for the apocalypse, folks. Yeah. Let's go down the rabbit hole with Jeffrey Epstein. And Shaun Attwood's going to help us do that in just a moment. So, DC and Hollywood in absolute panic. Epstein names are shocking the planet. It's crazy. The world wants justice. And this is what I've always said on my channel. Got to marinate a little bit. It's got to marinate, just like people were begging for the files to be released. Trump played the poker card. He's playing chess. He's not playing checkers. with that poker face. And I'm telling you, folks, now people are marinating and salivating at the mouth. Give us justice. Yeah, it's coming. I say it's coming. Now, my guests may disagree with me, and that's completely healthy and understandable. I think it's coming. And I do believe these people will not be able to walk the streets. I've said it over and over and over again. They will not be able to walk the streets. And I kind of feel like that's the direction we're going. You already see regular people, normies, waking up. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll decide not to go protest ICE and protest for saving the children. I mean, look at these heinous, horrific crimes that we're seeing. So mainstream media is doing exactly and absolutely anything and everything it can cover up and hide the names and accusations that have just been released in the new trove of drops. Like new files emerged discussing casually about the dentist chairs being found on the island so they can pull the children's teeth. This is so disturbing. Pull the children's teeth out so they don't bite when they're being assaulted. I mean, I knew evil existed, right? But I think we're all seeing just the level of evil is off the charts. There's no way to even measure this evil. There's no way. Hurting children to me is unforgivable. I don't find any forgiveness in this. And some of these things that are coming out, these stories, these names affiliated with these stories are so sickening that there must be justice for this. There's the dentist chair right there where they pull the children's teeth out so they don't bite. Or how about the prominent school photography company LifeTouch under scrutiny amid Epstein files drops that basically, I guess we could say they keep your children in a database so they can be easily tracked or traced. Those are the allegations. So, yeah, the deep state MSM is in panic mode trying to cover up and discredit alternative media channels like myself and others, probably Sean. This is like the pandemic all over again, isn't it, folks? You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that's fake. Oh, that's misinformation. Labeling credible channels as disinformation. If that doesn't work, they try to run interference or distractions like the 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗹 Guthrie story. Anything to take your mind and eyes off the ball. But the floodgates have opened and we haven't even scratched the surface yet in the rigged 2020 you know what. And that's coming. So that's going to be another dam that breaks with the 2020 you know what. And all hell's going to break loose, folks. So DC is in absolute panic. And then you saw that Alex Jones has come out. And by the way, I think his name is on the list. It's mentioned in the Epstein file. So I'm not going to throw Alex under the bus because I like Alex Jones, but you just don't know. I don't know why his name's in there, but I want to say that I trust Alex Jones. He's one of the first people to ever wake me up, but his name is listed in there. So I guess we'll see as this develops what happens. Also, Alex, as I'm talking to Shaun Attwood, he's going to be showing the names. We have snapshots of the names and all that. So let's bring on Shaun Attwood. Shaun, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, let's take down these satanic PDF files once and for all, because what this latest disclosure has revealed, they are all at it, and it is way worse than we thought. I mean, I've been, deep diving into this ever since they were released over 2 weeks ago. I've got a list here of just some of the craziest, darkest stuff. I'll just reel them off, but we could go into any of them. Black market babies, aquariums of girls.
Hold on, aquariums with girls? I might stop you every now and then because what do you mean aquariums with girls?
Some are like shrimp. You throw away the head and keep the body. Epstein and Maxwell unaliving 2 kids. The torture video. Epstein and Mandelson. Oh, I love the torture video. Hunting humans. Loading the muffin ingredients into the plane on Friday. Epstein's email about dinner with Musk, Thiel, and Zuckerberg. The Rothschilds sending Epstein money. Epstein's the genetic editing of babies. Rothschilds paying him $25 million. FBI 302 stating Epstein introduced Melania to Trump. FBI document Epstein blackmailing for Israeli intelligence. FBI document mentioning a victim who went to high school, never went to high school because she made so much money in the middle school going to Epstein's. Cloning and mind control. Billionaire Leon Black and Epstein being vicious to victims. Leonardo DiCaprio needing money in 2009 goes to Epstein, who then contacts Mandelson for non-US sponsors for Caprio. Maxwell and the young girl in Mexico. Famous biologist Bob Triver's email to Epstein discussing formulating hermaphrodite babies for bizarre sexual purposes. This is just a sampling. Dave, what's going on here?
So it's like anybody who's anybody was involved. I mean, at every level. I mean, anybody who's on television, in politics, in music, entertainment, at the highest level, they're all involved at the ABC level, right? I mean, I'm just blown away by this on how many people are compromised. I mean, it's everybody. It's everybody.
So put it this way, we've never in the UK experienced anything like it. Presently, King Charles is getting heckled on the streets because he's never done anything definitive about ex-Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew had the gall when all this first came out, and then there's the funeral of his dad, to say that he wanted to go in full military regalia and put on a public display. And the Queen said, no, you're not doing that. But Charles has held Andrew slightly on the sidelines in the darkness, like a cockroach, just waiting to slither back out of the darkness and get into the public's good graces again. He's never done anything definitive about him. But now these photos of Andrew on all fours, like a demonically possessed canine, sweaty, glazed face, hovering over some woman, obviously not doing Reiki healing. It's pervert.
I saw
sick of it.
I saw that photo, and obviously, and I think, Alex, you could pull that up. It's on the internet, where Prince Andrew's over some child on all fours. The kid looks like like the child looks unconscious. I mean, this is so demonic. So these people are so possessed. They've lost their soul, if they ever even had a soul. And now that it's like, like those message boards, the number 17, I don't like to say the letter, but the number 17 message board said they will never walk the streets again. They'll never be able to walk the streets. I think that's kind of playing out right now, Shaun. I mean, the anger that's building up over the internet on social media, people are getting angry about this. The more files that drop, the more stories that are coming out, the more allegations, the more names. People are like, I cannot believe we live on a planet that is run by demons.
Well, Prince Andrew supporters say, who's not hovered over a lady on the floor at a party? But I say to them,
that looks like a child. That doesn't look like a lady.
Exactly. Let's put this in the context of what Virginia alleged against ex-Prince Andrew. She said the third allegation, which the mainstream media shied away from, that they were all naked in a swimming pool, having an adult party, I will say, I've got to weigh my words, on the island, the PDF file island. That was Andrew, Jean-Luc Brunel, Virginia was there, Maxwell, Epstein. They were joking how easy it was to SA and R word to East European kids because they couldn't speak any English. And they also, Epstein said, he thanked Jean-Luc Brunel for the 12-year-old triplets and commended Jean-Luc Brunel on the oral skills. And people sometimes say, there was only one other person arrested in the Epstein case, and that was Maxwell. That's incorrect. Jean-Luc Brunel was arrested. He went to prison in France, and he was unalived, the exact same method as Jeffrey. How many conspiracy cases do you know, folks, where both the principal co-conspirators are allegedly unalived in the exact same fashion? I mean, we had a death expert on last night, and he said that the corpse, the tattoo on the arm was absent at the autopsy, the barbed wire on Epstein's arm. And he also said the ears didn't match, and he wouldn't be surprised if Epstein was still alive.
I've been saying that for a long time. I've actually had some guests on Nino's Corner.tv that said, no, he's alive. He's alive. I don't doubt that at all. I don't think he's such a valuable asset to both sides, but especially to what I like to call the white hats. I think he's alive. I think he's probably just beginning, interrogated like crazy. I don't know. That's my point of view. But what's your thoughts on these big? Now we're already starting to see these big CEOs like Wasserman step down, who runs the WNBA entertainment world. He's stepping down. I think we're going to see more of that, and I think we're going to start seeing self-deleting and homicides. People are going to start rolling over on each other and pointing fingers. I mean, that's all coming. I also think citizens are going to probably try to take this into their own hands. Are going to get so crazed and pissed off and angry. You might see them camping out in front of their homes, celebrities' homes, demanding justice, throwing eggs on their face, humiliation. I mean, I see all of this coming. I think we're just now getting into it. What's your thoughts?
Absolutely. I think it's going to accelerate going into this year. And I think it could get so serious that ex-Prince Andrew may end up like Lady Di. But let's look at two of the huge prime movers in Epstein's finances. What is going to be done about them? We've got Leslie Wexner, who admits he's demon-possessed. In interviews in the 1980s, when he was trying to increase his PR, he admitted to having a 𝗃𝗃, which is a demon driving him on to swallow companies up restlessly. So this fiend gave Epstein the property, this huge property that was already cameraed up and good to go. And then you've got Leon Black, the supposed financial wizard. Now, if you watch the Bannon interview with Jeffrey Epstein, the 2 hours that was released at least, they are flexing high school economics knowledge and calling each other the biggest geniuses in the history of the world. It's pathetic. This guy is no high IQ stock player. Leon Black, he gave him what, almost 200 million for financial advice. Black, who's supposedly a financial wizard himself. Yeah, right. That was honey trap money, honey trap operation. We're going to finance you this way. Here's where the money's coming from. You take this. You continue on with your operations. Absolutely obscene. So Apollo Group. Where's the repercussions for Apollo Group, which Black is managing? Wexner. So there was the heat on the Limited and Victoria's Secret. Oh, I've divested from this now. I put all my money in 𝗀𝗂𝗶𝗹, the AI company, etc. No, Victoria's Secret was how Jeffrey Epstein and Jean-Luc Brunel were getting these poor girls, especially from Eastern Europe, the pipeline, over 1,000 he boasted he went with. They were telling them you could become a model at either Jean-Luc Brunel's agency or Victoria's Secret. The feds were fast-tracking their passport visas into the Epstein pipeline. And then once they got here, give us your passport, love. You got to do this now, you got to do that. And if you don't play ball, we're going to send you back, or something bad's going to happen to your family. You know, Maxwell told 𝗵𝗶𝗹, you guys can end up on the sides, dead on the sides of roads. That's what 𝗵𝗶𝗹 told us. And what's Maxwell getting rewarded in a soft prison with the puppy dog program? It's crazy, but people are sick of it. And how's she going to get out early now? There's way too much heat on the system. If she gets out early now, that's the biggest slap in the world to the survivors. And we had Epstein victim number one on the other night, Marina, beautiful soul, this woman, powerful speaker. She was right next to Pam Bondi when Pam Bondi wouldn't look at the survivors the other night. What kind of a person who's read the files, who knows what these women have been through, would not say, my heart goes out to you guys, stay strong, I wish you well. One evil automaton just waiting for the next download to tell us 1 minute the files are on my desk, next minute the files don't exist. I will say whatever the deep state is programming me to say. Disgusting. Show some support for the survivors. You campaigned on it, and now you don't give a crap. Won't even look them in the eyes. What, would you turn to stone if they look back at you? You frigging Gorgon.
Oh my God. So, you know, there's so many names that are coming out. Even Steve Bannon is in there. He's all over the place. And it's both sides of the aisle, right? It's not just the left, it's everybody. But, you know, I'm expecting some big Hollywood names. And we know Jay-Z's all over. He's riddled in these Epstein files. I'm expecting some bigger names, like, and I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but I think we all know the big Hollywood names that I'll just say could be, like Hanks, on the list. You know, there's others, but I mean, I mean, are these all out there now, or do we still have to scavenge through all of them? I mean, there's how many millions of files have been dropped in total? Do you know?
Approximately 3 mil. There's almost 3 mil they've withheld, and people are scavenging through them and finding out new revelations every day. So we've had Jay-Z's estranged son, 𝗬𝗏, another beautiful soul, on the channel several times. I think we're going to try and get him on in the coming days to talk about his dad possibly going, being in the files, etc. But his dad cannot acknowledge him because this is what 𝗬𝗏 told us: the age at which he was conceived, his mother was underage. So Jay-Z's in this catch-22 now, where he can't acknowledge his own son because it would out him as a
and make him guilty.
Yeah, yeah.
What about the company Ramsey's? I've heard she's in there. Who else is in there? I know you've been following this a lot more than I have, and that's why I'm so happy to have. Oh man, he looks just like Jay-Z. He looks just like Jay-Z.
Yeah, totally. Jay-Z won't even do a DNA test. They tried to crush this kid in court, and the woman who's helping him, they've tried to crush her, and they've tried to bankrupt him. It's absolutely foul. How can you not even acknowledge your own flesh and blood? It's disgusting. You're talking about big names and enablers then. So one of the themes of the Bannon interview was, I'm Bannon. I know you've got this conviction as a PDF file, but here I come with my stupid video to try and make you look like a good guy and rehabilitate your image and just hoodwink the public. But there was way bigger names than Bannon doing this. I don't know if you read the email from Richard Branson to Jeffrey. So Richard Branson's idea was, we'll just have Bill Gates say to the public that you're a good guy, you're a horny guy who slept with a 70-year-old, there's nothing wrong with that, and you just, you've got a high sex drive, and you're a brilliant advisor. And if Gates says that, everyone will love you again, Jeffrey. Oh,
what's Gates being accused of, or what is he guilty of in these files?
So Gates was conspiring to surreptitiously drug his wife because he contracted an STD from a Russian lady of the night. And this is we're not knocking people for the sexual behavior, but if you're a bastion of morality and advice, whenever there's a crisis, they wheel Gates out and he tells us all what we got to do, COVID, etc. Then you need to be behaving in a certain bloody way. Drugging up your own wife behind her back. Come on now.
He drugged her so she could fall asleep so he could have sex with a Russian girl? Is that why?
No, he'd contracted an STD and he wanted to sneak her antibiotics without her knowing to minimize the harm of the STD getting transferred from him to her.
Wow, dude, there is levels to this, man. Levels to this. I mean, this is what happens, I guess, when powerful men, when it gets to their head, they go overboard. They want more and more and more, and they lose their soul, and they all hang out together, right? That's why, Shaun, that's why I believe in an operation. I'm just going to say, me personally, I believe in it, my opinion. I believe in an operation at hand, because there's no way in hell that this stuff would be seen the light of day with how many powerful people are involved. No way in hell. I mean, that's the only logical conclusion I can come to, is that there's an operation being ran here to out all these people and hopefully take them all down. I believe there will be justice, not yet, coming though. It will come, and when the timing is right, when people are salivating and their claws and fangs are out for the justice, I think that's when Trump drops a hammer. And yes, I do believe, as much as people say Trump's in there, I don't know to the extent. I wanted you to, kind of go into that with my audience. A lot of people, I've even said he's been vindicated in the files, but what's the scoop on Trump in the files? Can you explain that further for my audience?
So I don't believe that Trump was as active with Jeffrey as, for example, Bill Clinton. If you look at Trump's past, then predator in terms of beauty pageant partner in crime to Epstein, for a certain amount of years, but then Epstein goes full on with the kids. But Trump knew about it because he's hinted he's known about it. He said, he likes him a little on the young side, and he wished Maxwell well when she got arrested. So there was a lot going on behind the scenes with him, and I think he's embarrassed about it. But when you got someone like Clinton, who, the CIA chose Arkansas to do the drug drops, because they chose the governor that was the craziest, the most corrupt, the most deviant. Clinton, from my research, when I've written all these books about the Clinton crime family and the CIA, when he was the AG and when he was governor of Arkansas and he was cocaine crazed, he would go on the rampage, essaying and R-wording women. And this isn't out of the clear blue. People can Google Juanita Broderick. Most of the research I've done has come from testimonies of people who worked for the Clintons who are still alive. His method was young women who wanted to help him with his campaigns or etc. He'd get them back to a hotel room and he'd get them drunk or on the white powder. And if he didn't comply, he'd force himself upon them and he'd bite them. That was his trademark. And when he was running around with his coke dick, he also had a tendency to go for plus size ladies of the night who were also ladies of color who were giving him penile humiliation. Maxwell wrote to him, "You hung like a horse." So she was trying to get in the mix with Bill Clinton. And Bill Clinton's on the flight logs dozens of times without his security details, sometimes with ladies' names like, Svetlana.
This is just getting so out of control, man. And you had a great guest on. You actually had one of Jeffrey Epstein's relatives on, correct? A niece, Amy, correct?
Yes, we had 𝗬𝗏𝗶𝗹 on, who totally nailed it about the cult of Baal. We saw in the Epstein files one of Jeffrey Epstein's bank accounts is Baal, and JP Morgan is sending millions to Baal.
So wait, hold on. So you have no doubt after that interview, after hearing what she had to say, there's no doubt that these people are satanic and they worship Satan, correct? Like literally, this is what it is, right? It's not just maybe. I don't think they really believe in that stuff. They really believe in this stuff, don't they?
They really believe in it. They're joking about it, setting up bank accounts in the names of it. They're going out into the woods with the cloaks on, worshiping the owl god. Doing the sacrifices, and they're tampering with babies because the cult of Baal, the ancient religion, it's about human sacrifice and it's about animal sacrifice, but they are trying to play gods themselves here and create babies in certain ways for perverted sexual needs. And I'm going to read you an email from Robert Trivers to Jeffrey just to back this up. Robert Trivers, the great, whatever he is, molecular biologist or whatever. Here's what he says. This is 17th of December, 2018. It is very simple. I will compare male to female with female to male. With greater molecular control over development, we are increasingly capable of producing novel phenotypes, more feminine men, by blocking testosterone receptors or castration, and at the same time, increasing estrogen production. The one blocks male features, the second encourages female features. More masculine women, heavy testosterone dosage, incredible external effects, heavily bearded men. You would never guess they had a female bone in their body. Now get this. This is where he lets loose. The first is attractive. He is a woman with a beep. So that if your fantasy is to suck a man's beep, otherwise you are completely heterosexual, it would be much nicer if the rest of the organism is female. Then you get the best of both worlds. So many transsexual women are very attractive and easily make money, which in turn they assert promotes their prostitution since they have to pay hefty fees for injections every week. But they are sexually happy. Once you have reached manhood, even castration does not prevent the sensation of organism. Contrast the poor female to male versions. They are unhappy and lonely. They are men with mum-pums, the worst of both worlds. If you like smelly masculine men, if you want that hard beep that comes with the show, you do not want one of nature's more complex and variable structures, the pom-pom. That is an acquired taste, and not with a man. There are hundreds of female trans videos and websites. I have never seen a male one. And he's talking like he's done this, basically.
Genetically engineering humans, man. Genetically engineering humans. And if you kind of look at the younger generation now, you can't tell me that's not what they're doing with the food and these right here. And I mean, come on. Everyone's kind of, they look the part now. They're confused. Let's just say they're confused. And everyone looks like they could be either sex, the younger generation. Are you noticing this as well? Like
Yeah, I think
the 15, the teenagers, the 20-something-year-olds?
I think it's worldwide. There's like an emasculation of the population, and with a lot of young people just sitting on the devices all day, there's not enough people like of military level fitness and structure to you know, they're not meeting the quotas. Look at the prison guards, look at the cops. They've gone from being these big badass dudes to looking like they just work at your corner shop people.
You know what they need? They need more blood flow, folks. Blood flow. You know, let me
Whoosh.
to the commercial here. Let me put you onto something I've been using lately that's honestly leveled up my workouts. It's called Blood Flow 7 by 𝗬𝗏𝗡. If you ever felt like you should be getting a better pump in the gym, you're training hard, you're eating clean, but something's just missing, this just might be it. Blood Flow 7. This is good stuff. Works by increasing nitric oxide production in your body. This is something I take religiously, folks. That means better circulation, better oxygen delivery, and yeah, way better muscle pumps. You can actually feel it, the endurance, the recovery, the fullness. I started taking it, and the difference in my stamina and post-workout recovery is wild. My lifts feel smoother, and that flat feeling is totally gone. There's no sketchy pre-workout kind of crash or after effects either. It's natural, and it keeps your blood vessels flexible and your energy steady. It doesn't make you feel weird at all. Quite the opposite, actually. And it gives you awesome pumps, folks. I love the pumps in the gym. But it's not just for the gym. Better blood flow means more oxygen to your brain and other parts of the body. And you can focus on a more natural feeling throughout the day and even better cardiovascular health overall. You actually feel more awake, more focused, and just sharper. This stuff is scientifically backed by premium ingredients. So if you want to feel the pump, boost performance, and get your blood flow right, check out Blood Flow 7, bloodflow7.com/Nino for 30% off. This stuff works. It's crazy. I love this stuff. I use it in the gym, and it works in the bedroom. All right, Shaun, sorry about that. I got to do these. I got to do them, man.
That's all right. I forgot to mention, I'm in the Epstein files.
You are?
Yeah, can I show you why?
Absolutely.
I doorstepped Maxwell in 2019, the property with the white banister that the famous photo was taken at. So if Alex could put that on the screen, I put it in the present box below the screen.
So there's a picture of you at her house, or what is it?
That's a little video. I'll play it for you guys. And,
wow.
So the famous photo of Prince Andrew and Virginia, you see the white banister. We went to the property to try and get them to open the door so we could confirm the white banister was in there because they were saying the photo was made up. No one would answer the door, so I'm freestyling on the street, and here's what happens next. I'll just hit play on a second.
And we've got some phone numbers here for the house. Oh, hello. Come over. Yes, we are looking to interview Ghislaine Maxwell. Is anyone here by that name? Can you come around this side, James, to get the banister? No. You're the cleaner. Have you got the banister, the white banister? You see it's there. Do you know when Ghislaine will be home? You got to come round behind me, James, to get the white banister. You don't know when she'll be home. And do you know any way to get in contact with her? Okay, and you're just a cleaner then. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for your help. Are we allowed to film? Are we allowed to film inside?
No, because there's no filming about it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for your help. Yes, she is. Did you get the white banister? Yes. Congratulations. We now have concrete proof there has been tumultuous speculation on the internet whether this house was or was not the house with the white banister. Now we've come here today, we've had somebody answer the door, and it is absolutely confirmed that this is the house with the white banister in the photo behind Prince Andrew that has been circulating widely.
What do you think of that?
Dude, you got some big balls, bro. Really big balls to go there and do that. Like, what? Yeah. What was the ramifications for that? I mean, what happened?
I lost my channel shortly after that.
What? Wow. Wow, dude. That's insane. Like, yeah, that's ballsy.
Got to be done, hasn't it?
But I mean, did you get threats or anything?
Oh, man. I went through a couple of years of black ops. I got criminalized. I got called into the cop shop. They put restrictions on me reporting with survivors. I have to do all these things now, or else I go to prison. There was black op campaigns against me. I got hacked. All my information was put online, home address and stuff. It was crazy for about 2 years of my life. They were trying to completely destroy my reputation.
So now that all this stuff is out, man, I mean, it seems to me like it's the floodgates have opened. Like, it's kind of like if you're on the tennis court and you can hit the one ball that's coming to you. But now, like, if you're the deep state, or if you're these people, thousands upon thousands, millions, let's just say millions of balls are being thrown at them now. There's just no way they could swat at all of them, right? I mean, that's how much stuff is coming out, and that's how many reporters are reporting on this stuff, even though we don't really see it on the mainstream news. This is everywhere now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The floodgates are open, and we've got to really credit Virginia, because in those early lawsuits with Maxwell, and Maxwell foolishly responded and divulged a lot of information. That's what really got the ball rolling. And the fact that, you know, Virginia was unalived, I believe, by 𝗵𝗲𝗍, it's an absolute tragedy. If she could see right now how far this had got, she would be really happy about that. I was communicating with her on X, and she would be delighted. But if she could see that Maxwell was put in a soft prison and she was trying to get out early, she would be disgusted by that.
It's crazy to see. And what about this LifeTouch, man, or this prominent school photography company, LifeTouch, that's now under scrutiny? So what were they doing? Just taking pictures of kids and keeping them in a database?
You know, I'm not familiar with that school. The main school that I'm familiar with was the school in Florida where Epstein was procuring the girls from. He had like a pyramid scheme going, whereby he would get them out to his house, say he wanted a massage, push it to its limit with them, give them $200. And when he tried to push it to the limit with them, if they didn't comply, he would ask them to find friends they could bring. And it was like this scheme whereby they would get a finder's fee. And he was so brazen. He was sending flowers to the girls at the school. All the girls, all the kids in the school knew what was going on. And when that property was raided, one of the cops who we've interviewed, John Mark Duggan, he seized files. And Joseph Ricari also had files. He was another colleague in the Florida cops. And they discussed it. If we give these to our bosses, we know this is going to get covered up, but they had to do it anyway. Joseph Ricari ends up dead shortly thereafter of turbo cancer in his 50s. And John Mark Duggan's house was raided by the feds, and he got so scared he fled to Russia. So this is how these things are covered up. It's disgusting. And Alexander Acosta, the arrogance of this guy, saying he didn't believe the survivors back then, blah, de blah. Well, 𝗀𝗶𝗋𝗄 has told us, she's been researching this for years. She said in the latest release of the Epstein files, it's in there that 𝗬𝗪𝗍 was the one who told Acosta that it was above his pay grade and Epstein was working for intelligence. 𝗬𝗪𝗍, a man who's campaigning for the legal age to be reduced. 𝗬𝗪𝗍, who said CP is not a crime because it's just videos. Well, what about the freaking kids in the videos? There was a demand for it. These kids wouldn't be getting snatched and filmed, would they? What a disgusting morality. 𝗬𝗪𝗍, who went to the island and had a massage but kept his boxers on. Why the hell are you at the PDF island in the first place when you're the lawyer for this guy? 𝗬𝗪𝗍, who smoothed the sweetheart deal through. He's everywhere, everywhere.
Dershowitz, man, I've always had big question marks around that guy. What about names that it seems to me would be impossible for them to even have been on the island unless this operation was running before Jeffrey Epstein, which we know obviously before Jeffrey was probably someone else. What about people like Elvis Presley, Marilyn Monroe that have been listed? Like, how are they related to this? Do you know?
Yeah, so that predates, you know, what Jeffrey's operation. So basically, Jeffrey Epstein was groomed by Robert Maxwell. The official story of Ghislaine going to America, meeting him, mourning for her father's an absolute crop. We interviewed 𝗬𝗋𝗄, former Israeli military intelligence, told us the whole history of it. If you've read Whitney Webb's work, or if you've listened to Ryan Dawson, they're all deeply researched in this side of it. So you go back to the era of Presley, Monroe, the evolution of the intelligence agency honey trap operations, going as far back to paperclip, you know, bringing the Nazis over, etc. 𝗬𝗃. What you've got is Epstein in the 80s being groomed into this Khashoggi Bank of Credit and Commerce International nexus, whereby Khashoggi and 𝗵𝗃𝗃 had honey trap operations throughout Europe. So Epstein was just up and coming then, but he saw the template for it. Maxwell, the favorite daughter, she was brought into the fold because she had the same psychopathic traits as the father, Robert, who's on the screen right now. He was so psychopathic, Robert Maxwell, and so condescending to the masses. He would wipe his ass on a towel and just throw it on the floor for the cleaners to pick up and dispose of. So he recognized these same traits in 𝗀𝗃. That's why he named the lady 𝗀𝗃 after her. And the official narrative, he was on the deck of the lady 𝗀𝗃. He fell into the sea and he drowned. He was having a piss or he was drunk or whatever. Absolute BS. He was up to his eyeballs in debt. He looted the Daily Mirror pension money. He was competing against Robert Maxwell for fame, the big two papers in the UK when I was a kid. And supposedly, the theory is he was leaning on Israel to bail him out. He'd become a liability. They sent a little boat up beside his yacht, and they had a guy on the frogmen, and one of them had an injection that just got him in the neck to make sure that the deed was done. There's a great book called The Assassination of Robert Maxwell, which I would urge people to read if they want to understand what happened.
What about this? This brings a lot of questions into light for me as I was raised Catholic. I was an altar boy, and we all used to see the commercials of Mother Teresa with, she had such a massive reputation of like a saint. And there's so many photos with Mother Teresa and Robert Maxwell together. Now that whole thing to me is in question. How do you feel about that? You're Catholic, aren't you, Scott? You were raised Christian?
I was raised Catholic. I was an altar boy for a bit. I didn't get buggered.
Neither did I. I don't think I was attractive enough. Go ahead.
they cloak their deviant behavior behind kind deeds. So Jimmy Savile, for example, raised a huge amount of money for charity in the UK. They built extensions of hospitals, etc. And when he was molesting patients in hospitals, the nurses would say, "Oh, it's just Jimmy. That's the way he is. They'll cut our money off. You'll lose your job if you report him." The Catholic Church, what did they do with these priests? They just
move them around.
Move them around. And you've got PDF files joining the priesthood because they know they will get protected. They'll get the highest priced, fanciest lawyers. If they do get in trouble, they'll get moved 20 miles, 30 miles, or they'll get sent to the Philippines or Africa, where they could just continue demonic behavior. It's crazy.
Shaun, I want to bring you on for a part 2, but I got to be respectful of your time. Just can you stick with me for 5 minutes? I'm going to finish up here with some what the fuck news for my audience, and then just stay with me just for a second.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yep. Alex, get my links in the description box, or else.
Yeah. All right, folks. And stay with me. Don't get off yet, Shaun. Just stay with me for a second. In what the fuck news? Listen to this, folks. I like Australia. I've been to Australia, but this is absolutely ridiculous. That place, I have people on my ringside with Nino from Australia, in the General's tent from Australia. I love Australian people. They're awesome. I've been there, I visited, but this is just getting insane. How a 40 pack of cigarettes pushed Australia to the black market. What? $40 for a pack of cigarettes? Damn. Tax hikes make cigarettes in Australia the most expensive in the world. They have also helped fuel a multi-billion-dollar criminal enterprise in bootleg tobacco. Yeah, you heard that right. A retired math teacher descended into an underground parking lot in search for her dealer with cash in hand. Headlights flashed from the far end of the garage in a beachside middle-class neighborhood in suburban Melbourne, Australia. She walked up to the unmarked van and soon was back above ground with illicit goods, a carton of cigarettes. Australia has the most expensive cigarettes in the world. A pack of mid-market cigarettes costing about an average of 55 Australian dollars, or almost 40, nearly double what it will be set back in New York City. A series of steep tax hikes, 8 in 10 years, we put in place to reduce the rate of smoking, which this should make people stop smoking. I mean, if you're really hell-bent on smoking, you have to go to the black market to get this shit, I would think twice about your life. But I don't know, folks. You leave it in the comments what you thought, what you think about this. Should this be brought to America to help people stop? Every corner, every store has vaping products. I don't know about your cities, but in El Paso, vape, smoke shop, and they don't just sell those type of accessories there. They sell kratom, all other kinds of stuff, which is now the big boom. Now that fentanyl is falling behind, kratom is booming, vaping is booming, and I think this shit is just as bad as smoking. So leave your comments in the box there, and folks, let's do a couple of super chats, and we'll be done here, Sean. Go for it, Alex. 𝗀𝗃𝗶𝗹, thank you so much. Super sticker, thank you. Mary, Eyes of an Angel, satanic terrorists, biblical Jezebels, time demons from Nephilim. Agree with that. Mary, Eyes of an Angel, Canadian designer Peter Nygaard will be brought back to the USA to testify. He is worse than most.
He was getting women pregnant so he could abort the fetuses, so he could make the elixir of life for himself, because his own fetuses were more likely to be accepted by his body. They wouldn't be rejected.
What? All right, let's get to the next one. That's sick. His own offspring. That's so demonic. That's on another level, man. That's just music, death metal followers, millions are Antifa BLM ground troops. I would imagine so. Next one, please. 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹. Hey, yo, super sticker. Thank you. All right, folks. Do we have any more, Alex? 𝗀𝗃𝗶𝗹, thank you so much. Thank you. Queen of Diamonds 77, thank you for all you do to expose the truth. You got it. All right, that's it. Sean, stay with us just for a second. We're out of here. Stay with us a little longer. All right, folks. And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the black sheep of broadcasting, folks. Peace.